another gloomy day. Whoop. Hit some vultures on the side of the road eating a deer. Just thought I'd go for a little ride today. I thought I would go back in time when I was around teenagers, riding around, trying to party. There was a place in Memphis called VOODOO Village, and actually it was named St. Peter's Spiritual Temple, which they call it. The people around Memphis, they always called it VOODOO Village because it had a lot of crosses with spikes and nails sticking out of it, and rainbow painted storage buildings and weird wood machinery, windmills and stuff like that. And it was developed in the early 60s by a guy named Walsh Harris, and he was something like a medicine doctor or whatever. He would heal people, and people would come from all over Mississippi and Illinois and Missouri and all that and would see him, like an herbal doctor or something like that, to get healed. And they would come to this place, and I guess that might have been where people started calling it VOODOO Village, because he practiced some kind of medicine with herbs and stuff like that. So I don't live too far from it, so I thought I'd ride over here if I can even remember how to get to it. It's been a lot of years. Last time I was down here was probably when I was 18, 19 years old. And here I am, 64 now, but it's an old legend, old myth. And people would go down, it's on a dead-end street. People would go down and ride through it. And would say stuff like, well, when you go down, you have to turn around. When you go down, turn around. When you turn around to come back, that they would have the road blocked. Or when you go back, you come back, the gate was closed when you went by it, but when you came back, the gate was open. It was sort of like an invitation to pull in there. And it was myths, mysteries, old sayings that there was dogs hanging out on a tree, or cats or stuff like that, but I believe that was all just myths. It was teenagers back then just making up stuff to make it more mysterious to go down and drive through it and check it out. But it's always been a myth in Memphis, Mississippi. We'll check it out. It might not even be there anymore, I don't know, but I'm gonna ride down and check it out. And I thought I'd bring y'all along with me, and see what it is. I remember a lot of nights out riding around, and everybody would say, "Let's go through VOODOO Village." Well, we'd ride down there, and nothing really happened, but we'd hear other people saying they were shot at, and their windows were busted out, and they would come out there with a bus or whatever and push you off in a ditch. And there's even been old sayings that people's come up missing. That's never been verified that I know of, but anyway, it's I don't know why I decided to ride over here, but I thought it'd be an interesting topic. It's sort of back off the road, back up in the woods a little bit. And I believe the name of the road is Mary Angela Road. And it is a dead-end street. I'm thinking it's right down here to the right, I'm gonna just show the. I'm just gonna shut the camera around, and we'll get to it. Let me see here. There's some guy walking down the street here with a bicycle. Oh God. He might be one of them that lives down here. But I probably don't live 8 miles from it, something like that. Let's see here. I'm sure there's a lot of people that might see this video that's probably been down here. It's a pretty neat place. And I believe it's actually where this Harris guy moved down here, Wash Harris, and built a house, and then some of his relatives, they built a house on here also. I believe this is it right here. Yep, right here. This is the road that St. Peter's Spiritual Temple is on, considered Voodoo Village. The road's pretty well deteriorated. Weeds are growing all over it. Here's an old house right here, 4625. And I believe this is Voodoo Village right here. This is where it starts. really fun to ride through here. Here's that house to the left. I don't know. Old shotgun house. But that was it. It was still there. There's over 1,500 different pieces of art in the yard, resembled, I don't know what the symbols are for them or whatever, nobody knows that but whoever made them. And I don't know if anybody sees this. If you were around the Memphis area or DeSoto County area, you've probably been down this street many a times or several times or at least once in your lifetime back when you were a kid. I mean, I can sit back and remember out riding around and coming down through here and stuff. Of course, we were drinking sometimes, and it was like, you know, an adventure. Everybody go to Voodoo Village. Let's go to Voodoo Village. And everybody's expecting something to happen. That was what was the thrill of it, was to go and to see if anything happened. And I guess pretty sure most cases nothing happened, but people were told that things would happen. But that was way back then. But I'm sure it's some kind of an organization or a church or something that and it wasn't no bad intentions or anything like that. I'm sure it was just a religious group, Monarch or something like that, I believe. Some kind of a Christian type. But it's an old myth, an old legend in Memphis. I mean, if you're ever from Memphis and somebody mentions Voodoo Village, they're gonna know what you're talking about. And anyway, that was that. Now we're heading back. I'm heading back to the house. There's a Victory Temple right here. But anyway, Dawson Park. I thought I'd do a little video on that. I was out riding around, so just thought I'd do that. Let me see, Weaver Road. That's where I used to live, right down the road there. This is the old, it used to be happening around this area. A lot of traffic, a lot of stuff going on. There's a nice house there. It's sort of tucked in off of the main road. But anyway, I wanted to do that little drive through on the Voodoo Village there. Anybody got any comments or anything, just feel free to put it in there. Subscribe and like my channel. And I guess I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.